I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influences, thinking wash talent will get you to a conference final appearance again. It been since the bubble, and that was the last time like both of your stars were healthy.
Scoreboard! Scoreboard! Oh, what happened to your friend? Hey, I know that guy. I kill him. He cried like a bitch. Vietnam, undefeated.
Honestly, somebody just expect failure. The Clippers are possibly the biggest definition of failure in the Western Conference when it comes to postseason success. Because with four bona fide Hall of Famers out of James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and I remember I told you guys in the video that they're possibly going to be a first round exit. Luka and Kyrie were no freaking joke when they wanted to play better, let themselves accountable. Even Luka was letting himself accountable. You had Luka playing defense, folks. Luka Doncic is not recognized for being a floor spacing, shot making defender when necessary. But he was shutting down Paul George and James Harden, shot selecting over the majority of the game 1 to game 5. Kyrie was doing circus shots over 3 different defenders in the entire playoffs. Sure, there was times when it was only them barely contributing, ending over to the game 1 loss, when either PJ Washington couldn't get set up well when it comes to playmaking, or the shots couldn't fall. And they're a bit of offensively inept when it comes to playmaking without Luka or Kyrie around the rotations. And there was times when Paul George and James Harden, could take advantage and use their separation skills around the perimeter and just take it off. Man, Westbrook was just abysmal around the early parts of the series, majority of the series. He could barely have his outside shots, even mid-range shots, falling down over the deep. He's kind of more the anchor of the Clippers when it came over to Norman Powell, bailing them out over trailing by 11. Even game 4, even game 3, until the Mavericks equalized the series, it was Powell over their perimeter shooting that was at least the most efficient catch and shooting. And then Kawhi Leonard was out for the majority of the series due to an injury that he barely recovered in. And even when he was playing, he was barely a factor. He was barely a factor. Now, I don't know what's going to be the long-term efficient game plan, because obviously we have two free agents around the offseason, and it wouldn't make sense to try to seal up a player like possibly both Paul George and James Harden. Maybe trade over back for Tobias Harris with his abysmal contract, knowing Lawrence Frank is probably more desperate. Tyronn Lue, and this is a 51 record team with third best record in the Western Conference. Say what you will with Tyronn Lue, but somehow he keeps over longevity, and he's been the oldest coach to be with LeBron James. That is a godsend. But the Clippers, I don't know what to do, man. The Western Conference Final around the bubble, when any circumstance could have happened. Kawhi Leonard is out again. Again. And yet the biggest contribution that you have for having another scoring champion on your team, a defensive player of the year candidate years ago, and a league MVP, is inefficient playmaking when you're trying to over-rely on Terrence Mann and fucking Amir Coffey. And then Zubac, knowing, oh God, they don't have legitimate bigs on the floor, and he can barely keep up when it comes to them making plays over in the pick and roll, and Daniel Gafford has the most efficient field goal percentage in the NBA. It was brutal to watch game 5 and game 6, bro. Because I think everybody knew the energy just couldn't match up, and Harden was actually playing exceptional around the series that they had against the Mavericks. As much as we give Harden flack, and I call it, he's a great regular season player. I'm not saying that he won't make your team better, but the way that Harden can just be an absolute disappointment. You guys have trailed before game 4. It's been a single digit affair. Even winning convincingly over in game fucking 1. Then you got pissed down your leg and you lost by 13 to 20. 30. Kyrie just wanted Kyrie and Luka just wanted it more. Can everybody excuse 7 points? 2 for 12 shooting, while Luka had a damn near triple-double off 10 assists and 7 total rebounds. While grabbing a steal should be the most apparent stat while having inefficient 3-point shooting, but he was just grabbing and ones, babying over in the paint, fadeaway jumpers around the foul line, babying around guys that just won't try, like James Harden. And that's the biggest critique I had over this team, because you have aging stars that won't be that efficient over on defense. Kawhi Leonard's always unavailable, even when you least expect it. There's only a time until Harden keeps up, and this is with a league MVP talent and a guy that actually won a championship years ago with actual legitimate depth. And I have my piece about Jason Kidd, but my God, Luka Doncic just proved why he's one of the best players in the world right now. With this efficiency and the way he can still contribute over plays, is why he's just a step above certain players that we still find one of the greatest of all time, even better than Kevin Durant. How he could still get guys like Gafford, Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively, Maxi Kleber. Dante Exum has taken a step up to even getting a full-on NBA contract after being in the EuroLeague for a couple seasons. It's very insane how they took a step over after being an even series for the first 4 games. Then the Mavericks just learned how to wake up. James Harden had 7 fucking points in game 5, man. 1 for 7. 2 for 6 off Paul George. Is inefficient just shot selecting, and he doesn't help. It's just Terrence Mann and Amir Coffey. And then Zubac just forgot how to play basketball defensively. He only got a steal. No blocking. Norman Powell, 1 for 6. 0 for 3 was Westbrook. He's supposed to be the energy guy over on defense. The most he could do is just try to physically bully Luka without even doing anything efficiently to contribute around the team. It's got to be a white flag as well. They pulled up the white flag as soon as they have to give PJ Tucker minutes when he could barely catch and shoot since he was on the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat. Bones Hyland could only drive over to the paint. It just felt like white noise whenever they were trying to attack the basket in the latter half when they know it was for nothing. And then it was just set in stone after Harden went 0 for 6 from the field, from behind the arc. 2 for 10. And they had to start PJ Tucker. So that was a game 6 in the clutch. While Luka putting Hall of Fame numbers up. He was averaging 28, 25, 26 of the entire series. While his shooting was abysmal, he still averaged over 25 points while contributing over 13 assists. We have guys that had a season full of averaging triple-doubles for their MVP seasons. while Luka still gets comparisons that him alone can lead a team to a championship. Because he was actually trying on defense. I dare you to look up the defensive contributions from James Harden this entire series. I quintuple dare you, bro. I'll put that on D-Rose and... You know what? That sounds terrible. But besides that, there was just more of an effort. And a combined 58 points won't tell you otherwise. While keeping P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford efficient over on the field without even shooting the ball that much. Except P.J. Washington, 4 of 8 is not bad. A good 50% from the field. While Lively was still catching lobs, attacking over in the rim, how Luka can fake over in the baseline and just one stack lob it over to the kid. Lively's still a rookie, and he could just always get airborne. Josh Green's a decimate playmaker, and most of the time the Clippers could have no answer. Because they don't have guys that can really play make around like freaks of nature. And they don't really have guys that can really pressure Luka. While playmaking around Kyrie from behind the arc, that was absolutely killing it from the corner 3 and a fading 3. While making some insane acrobatic layups. And now they go off to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Later tonight, it's going to be a very insane game. Because I feel like this would be the conversation to see who would be league MVP over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And if Luka Doncic can finally get it done. Knowing like he's getting absolutely he's having absolutely crazy numbers over the series. While, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they kind of had a weaker team out of Zion Williams. Without Zion Williamson. Pelicans game where everybody was playing well out of Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, of course Chet Holmgren, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I wish I would say Josh Giddey, but we just put a D at the... I'm joking. If you put the D... If you remove the G and put the letter D in Giddey's name, that's what I think... Like, Besides that, Just another abysmal first round exit. Just another abysmal first round exit for the Los Angeles Clippers. While next season they're moving to their next arena, and they possibly might not keep a majority of their stars. I feel like it's time to get rid of Kawhi Leonard. In my opinion, some of these guys are eating cap that had barely contributed. You had a 50-win season. Woof. This is your first 50-win season since the Lob City days, where you lost in the first round with Doc Rivers. 51s, and it's just been conference semifinals, second round exits since then, after your time with Chris Paul. We have to go back to the Del Negro and Dunaville, Don Levy era, where there was possibly a legitimate fan base, where you guys didn't have to always rely on washed talent, or that time you still thought John Wall still had all NBA talent in him. Like, come on, man. Kawhi Leonard is just eating over that cap and using his disability checks to cash in while still living in his hometown. Paul George can only do so much as a complimentary piece, with the lack of defensive options and youth on the squad, being the oldest team in the NBA. James Harden is just there to cash in, go to the strip club, and then underperform when it's an elimination series. Westbrook is one of at least the better players that's willing to at least be more sacrificial latter half of his career. After a terrible season, I feel like he has stepped it over, being one of the better six men in the league. But when it comes to just his efficiency to even move in the secondary unit, you could see that Westbrook needs to just either get back in the gym or just go somewhere else. Hell, they take it like the Thunder don't have first-round picks. to spread around the community. That's enough first round picks to help feed the children. Like, come on, man. So knowing that set piece is it's a lot of things that are gonna possibly be the headline involving the Clippers, knowing there's a weak free agency class and an underwhelming feeling knowing that you're a third seed team you couldn't get done against just Luka and Kyrie. And over the regular season, it even proved that you guys either were too on and off when it comes to even showing that you can be really good or really shit. So whatever's going to happen around the off season, mind you, there will be salt. It's just I would tread lightfully on what's going to be the long-term investment, because I feel like that's what the Clippers front office should be focusing on. I know they're always trying to feel like just name talent could contribute into even just a win now success. It doesn't. It's been proven. This is literally a failed experiment of the 2021-2022 Los Angeles Lakers. The Jailblazers at least made it to the Western Conference Final and nearly close a distance against the Los Angeles Lakers. And with no semblance of an identity, they get mollywopped by a dynamic duo. So it's just showing just a super team's not always the best option, and the sacrifice of depth and hustle. Yeah, tell me how you guys. You feel like this is premeditated? Because I have 2 videos doubting over the Clippers' success. The best thing is they got 51 wins, but how they became a 51-win team stagnated around the season. You guys could tell. Tell me how you guys are gonna expect this offseason to go for the Los Angeles Clippers. Did I go too harsh on them, or was I right the whole time? Comment down in the comment section below. You guys have a great day.